Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video for you here today from the Filipina P titled Why Men Are Giving Up on Approaching Women. Let's take a listen to it. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
Hi folks, the Filipina P here. And did you know that over half of men under 40 haven't even approached a woman in the last year? It seems like men are just avoiding the whole dating scene. But why? Well, everyone has their theories, so I'm gonna ask both sexes and see what the problem is. Are men afraid to come up and talk to women, or are they waiting for women to show interest first? Or maybe they're just done with the whole mess.
I find it interesting how on a lot of these videos, okay, the women will go out there and ask women. Okay, so it'll be, why are men not approaching women? And then for whatever reason, we're asking women about the situation, you know? Like, rather than just only asking the dudes, we have to go out there and ask women for their opinion on something that they don't experience themselves.
Do you walk up to a woman and ask her out, like in person?
We are a little bit shy to do something like that.
Okay.
But I think that the woman likes the man who can do something like that, because not everybody does something like that.
Oh, okay. But why do you think men are saying it's hard to get a date nowadays?
I think that the men are they doesn't have like a really good confidence, so they think that maybe she are going to tell me no.
Okay.
So I rather to don't ask.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I take the risk.
You take the risk. You're a risk taker. Okay.
I mean, here's the thing. Confidence or not, it doesn't really matter. A lot of guys are not approaching women simply because they don't want to do it. There's a lot of risk for very little upside, and the upside oftentimes is a woman who wasn't even worth talking to in the first place. You know, a lot of these dudes who the women are going to interview, I assume, are going to be very polite about this. But a lot of guys don't approach women, and it's not because they lack confidence. Okay, it's not because they lack something or because they're scared. They just don't want to do it. A lot of dudes consider it self-preservation to not talk to modern women, and honestly, that's not hard to disagree with.
Yeah.
Do men just walk up to you and ask you out?
It happened before, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're that bold?
Yeah.
What's their opening line?
They're not really original. They kind of like say a lame, cheesy pickup line. Probably the basic one where it's like, did you fall from heaven because you're an angel or something like that. I like that one.
Did you fall for it?
Yeah, I did before.
Oh,
Yeah, unfortunately.
Do you guys ever call you, or is that a
Sometimes, yeah.
thing here? Oh, okay. What do they
Yeah.
do? Like whistle?
Yeah, like I've had a guy like whistle at me. I've had someone bark at me before. That
Bark?
was weird. Like
Bark?
a dog. Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. Yeah, literally, it was so weird.
So what did you do? Did you run?
No, I just looked at him crazy and walked away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think he's mentally stable?
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe.
Okay. I
don't know.
All right. Alrighty.
In Daytona, who knows?
Oh yeah. How do guys usually show interest in you?
If they really like you enough, they'll probably buy you like flowers or food or something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Or sing to you. That's pretty cool.
Sing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same thing in the Philippines. We still sing parts of it, like
Yeah.
serenading.
Yeah.
Do people still do that here?
I mean, I have a friend, her boyfriend sings to her all the time, so I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Aw, that is
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think in this day and age, is it easy to find the right person like your... No?
I wouldn't say so, no.
How so? There's like social media. It's easy to...
Yeah. Well, I think honestly, social media has kind of ruined like dating.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's pause it here. This is what I mean, guys, when like, you know, whenever you have a woman that says dating is difficult, you already know that they're lost. Okay? Dating, I will say for the, 6,000th time, dating is not difficult for women. It is not difficult for women to find a man. What's difficult for women to find is the man that they really, really want, and to get him to commit to her. Okay, so when you have a woman like this who's sitting there and she's explaining all of the different ways she's been spoken to by men and the dating situations she's been in, and then she goes on to say that dating is really hard and it's hard to find a man, it's not. And then the women go on to complain about social media like they are not the ones who are benefiting the most from it. You guys see what I'm saying, right? Like this woman is sitting here complaining about social media. Social media is absolutely, insane for modern day women. And what I mean by that is they get so much male attention and male validation. I will say again, dating is not hard for women. Whenever women consider dating hard, guys, that is a huge like if you are looking for a woman to date and the woman says that dating is hard, good luck to you, my friend. Good luck to you.
Because you're so like obsessed with like what other people are doing and like what your partner's doing, and you can't really just live in the moment.
Okay. Do you think women stand a chance of finding or marrying the guy that they really want, or they just settle?
I think they settle.
They settle?
Yeah, since it's so hard to date nowadays, I think
That's kind
just so
of...
they can be married.
That's disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. So, translation. It's so hard to lock down Chad that I have to just marry a dude who I don't really like and I'm settling. Right? Imagine if dudes used the word like settling. I've never heard a man or a husband or something describe himself as settling with his wife. This seems to be uniquely a woman thing, where like they'll marry a dude because they're 35 and they need a man to be her retirement plan, and they'll consider it settling. Because it's settling because dating is so hard. Like, think about that for a second, okay? The woman will get married because dating is so difficult. It doesn't make sense, does it? Right? Until you translate it to, I get married because I'm running out of time to lock down the man I really want, so I'm just going to take this backup option who has some money and who will look after me. Look at how casually this crap is said, guys. Like, this is absolutely disgusting. Look how casual this is.
Finding or marrying the guy that they really want, or they just settle?
I think they settle.
They settle?
Yeah, since it's so hard to date nowadays, I think
That's kind
just
of...
so they can be married.
That's kind of sad, just to settle.
I know, a little bit.
Yeah, how sad is it, guys? I have to date these men who are below me, right? I deserve the guy who's like 6 foot, 6 figures. I deserve that really handsome guy on that dating application. And if I don't get him, I'm settling. That is crazy. These are good questions by the interviewer, by the way. Right? She's asking the correct questions, I will say. But like, this is what I mean, man. The women will just tell on themselves. Like, listen to the crap that's actually being said and think about it for 2 seconds, and you'll realize how insane it is.
Okay. Well, would you settle, or just look for that Mr. Right?
Honestly, I used to want to settle, but now I really want to find the right person, so
Oh,
I'm going
my
to take my
goodness.
time. If it takes like 20 years, then that's okay.
Okay. Do you guys walk up to a woman and ask them out in person on a date? Is it a normal thing nowadays?
Back in the day, yeah.
Back in the day?
Back in the day, not. I don't know if that happens anymore. I got a 16-year-old son.
Mm-hmm.
He meets he met his girlfriend through Snapchat. It's more consumable. Like, you swipe left, you swipe right, right? That's the way that the world works.
Okay. What about love letters, writing a poem, not that kind of stuff?
I feel that that's kind of gone. The chivalry has gone out of.
Oh, it's
out of
dead?
dating. There's less risk if you're approaching someone online. If you do it in person, you get shut down. The ego takes a hit, and some folks don't like that.
Do guys ever...
I think a lot of these guys are being polite about the situation as well, right? Because he's correct when he says there's a lot of risk to doing it. Like, let's be real about it, guys, right? Let's just say you go to a gym or something, okay? And you approach a woman in the gym because you like her. Now, this might be the thing that you've been told to do on paper. It's the correct thing to do. The man should approach and make things happen. But if you don't meet her criteria, it's very easy for you to not just get rejected, okay? Because rejection is one thing, but it's very easy for you to now be the creepy guy at the gym, right? That's your label now. Because maybe she tells her friend and she's not really into you, and her friend tells everybody, and now you're in a situation where you go to this gym and people think that you're the dude that hits on women, for example, okay? And now you've got a social stigma attached to you. Or what if a woman accuses you of making her feel uncomfortable, okay? Like, things get very, very dicey very, very quickly, and men also understand the majority of the time that the women are not necessarily looking for the average guy. Okay, so the odds of this happening to you are incredibly high. that women will treat you in a way that's not positive. It's just it doesn't benefit the man typically to do something like this at all. Okay, it really doesn't. And again, with the chivalry stuff, a lot of dudes don't have anything against chivalry per se, but modern women, like giving chivalry to a modern woman, especially straight up, a lot of them will treat you like a freak. Okay, you go out there and you write a modern woman a poem because you're interested in her, and just give it to her. Just give her the poem. A lot of the women will, like, they'll smile, but they'll feel uncomfortable and they'll feel like you're a freak if you're not highly attractive.
Ever just walk up to you and ask you out?
Yes.
How do guys usually show interest in you?
Physical touch, I think, probably.
Physical touch? And you're okay with it?
Sometimes, depends who.
Depends on how cute he is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lovely, guys. So, again, notice how, like, this woman is talking as if or these interactions with men are normal. Okay, like think to yourself how many dudes this woman has to have been with in order to so casually talk about how many dudes have touched her and approached her. Like, think about that for a second. It's actually crazy. Okay, like you try and marry this woman, guys. Like, I am telling you, the odds of infidelity are so damn high, so damn high.
I wish there was just like back in the old days, like how they're like sweet.
Sweet. Guys aren't sweet anymore?
Well, they're sweet, but like I wish they were just like chivalry or.
Okay.
Like I wish that was still a thing.
Aw.
Yeah.
We still do write love letters though. We're kind of old-fashioned.
Yeah.
Is that how you want to be pursued?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
This woman is not old-fashioned, guys. You know, I find it funny that they want the traditional treatment after they've been, like, they're not traditional women whatsoever. This woman right here, like, you'll notice when they talk about their experiences with men, they have had plenty of experiences with men approaching them, with men touching them, as this woman says, and so on, okay? And yet, she wants chivalrous behavior from men. She wants traditional behavior from men. It's just crazy to think about. Again, this is like a dude, for example. He wears a dress on the weekends, okay? He wears a dress and high heels around home on the weekends, but he wants a feminine woman. Like, that's the exact same thing, man. A lot of these women, like, they want masculine, traditional men, but a lot of them are not feminine themselves, and they're not traditional themselves. So just, it doesn't make sense, you know? Like, try and give a woman like this a poem, man. Again, if you're not attractive, it doesn't matter. If you're not highly attractive, it doesn't matter whatsoever.
Yeah.
Love letters? How about chopping wood?
Chopping wood?
Yeah, chopping wood.
What is that?
Well, in the Philippines, usually, we cook our food using firewood.
Yeah.
And then, as a guy, if they're trying to pursue a girl, he'll show up to their house and chop wood for the family.
Oh.
Or fetch the water because not all of us have running water.
How does this woman not know what chopping wood is, by the way? Like, this woman on the left, how do you... This is fairly self-explanatory, you would think, right?
Oh, wow.
And they sometimes do sing.
Sing?
Yeah, like
Wow.
Serenading.
Wow, I didn't know that. I've never
Yeah. In some parts of our country, they still do that, but it was a big thing back in the 80s or before.
Yeah.
What if a guy shows up in your outside of your window and then starts singing, serenading you?
Like if I saw that in a movie, that would be really cute. But if that actually happened to me, I feel like that would give me an ick.
And there it is. You know? Again, this romance behavior sounds really good on paper to the women, but go out there and do that, and I hate to use this language, I really do, but they'll get the ick, as this woman says, as she so eloquently puts it, okay? It makes them feel uncomfortable. And here's the thing, a lot of guys, as much as women don't want to say this, we don't like making people feel uncomfortable. A lot of guys are not interested in, like, no dude realistically wants to make women feel uncomfortable on purpose, okay? If a woman seems uncomfortable with something, or she says she doesn't want something, what's going to happen is the men are going to listen, and they're going to say, all right, I won't do that then. And women have actually displayed that they don't reward the men who put forward romantic actions. You go out there, you do the poems, you do the serenading, you do the flowers, and so on, and a lot of these women will be turned off, and they will treat you negatively, and you will get a bad reputation because of it. And this isn't even including things like false accusations. I haven't even really spoken about that during this episode.
Okay, but what if he's really, really hot though?
I'd probably give him a chance then.
Okay.
And there it is, okay? The dude serenading outside of the window gives her an ick. But if the man's attractive, then she'll give him he'll have the wonderful opportunity, guys, to try and make this woman into his wife. Holy hell. No thank you. And this is the problem, man. A lot of these women, you know, they're not terribly ugly people or anything. They're not deformed or anything. They could go out there and find a husband very easily. They could go out there and find a boyfriend very easily. But women like this, man, I'm telling you, you cannot date them. You cannot marry them. If you do, the odds of you getting cheated on are incredibly, incredibly high.
Okay, so it depends how hot the guy is.
Yeah, it does.
Do men walk up to you and ask you out on a date?
They're just like not as confident as they used to be back in like the 90s, say.
Right.
Yeah.
So men back then,
They were just more masculine. Like they were real men back then. I totally value the commitment of a marriage. But I don't think that's a big value anymore to a lot of women.
right. Do you think women are marrying who they want or they just settle?
I think they settle, and they settle for financial comfort,
Okay.
and they also aren't looking at it like a long-term commitment.
Oh, it's like a startup husband and
Yeah,
then move on to the next
Yeah,
big fish?
oh, that was just your starter husband.
Oh. Do you
Like, do I even really need to say anything about this situation, man? Again, you just do what this woman is doing, man, right? If you ever want to know how things really work, just ask questions like this woman, and don't come across judgmental at all. You know, don't come across like you're trying to get a hit piece on them or something, or you're trying to be nasty, or you're trying to actually judge them as a character. Just ask the question as though you're referring to other women. What do other women do? Do other women do X behavior? How do you think men behave? Okay, and they will just tell on themselves, man. They will absolutely tell on themselves. And also, by the way, so let me get this straight. This woman says that women don't value marriage anymore. Like they're not like this isn't on their list of important things anymore. Yet a lot of women are treating marriage as though it's a retirement plan, and they settle and they go through husbands and they don't value commitment. So it seems to me, guys, like women do want to get married, but they only want to get married for the benefits, the things that benefit them. I've always said, you know, on this channel, women most certainly do want to get married, but whether or not that is a good thing for men is an entirely different question, and a lot of the times the women are also completely unable to get the commitment from the men that they really want. Let's keep going.
ask a woman out in person, just like walking right up to her and then ask her out on a date?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
Okay, so do they say yes?
Yeah, most times.
Most times? Okay. Do you have like a pickup line or?
No. Usually if I go out, I'm playing at a spot, I'm a musician, so it's a little easier. Guys don't know how to ask women out anymore because everything's social media now.
Oh, okay.
And it's a lot easier to just go online and swipe left or right and hopefully somebody messages you back.
Okay, so they no longer do the old-fashioned way?
I don't find, like, when I'm out, I don't see guys hitting on girls that often or going up and talking to them that much.
Not anymore, even at bars?
Even at bars, usually they've met online and they're meeting up at a bar.
Wow, that's sad.
It is.
So how do you show your interest to a woman?
I just go up and I ask if they're single.
Okay, yeah, of course. We have
If
to.
they're not, then just move along. Ask if I can buy them a drink and then talk with them. If they're not interested, then I don't push too hard.
Okay. What about love notes or I don't know, sending flowers? Is that is it a thing here?
I haven't written a love note since high school. So.
Oh, okay. Do men just walk up to you and ask you out?
No.
Do you wish they would?
Some of them, yes. A lot of people say I'm very unapproachable.
Is that true?
I don't think so.
What if the guy is cute? Would you say yes?
Yes, no, 100%.
But what if not?
Then no.
No? So it depends on how hot the guy is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How do guys show interest in you?
Most of the time, they'll just ask me for my Snapchat. That's
How about
usually the go-to.
flowers, poems?
I wish, but no.
No?
My goodness, man. So, again, let me just stress, okay? The women being interviewed, like this woman right here, this woman on her Sundays is probably not out there, you know, at home, rather, reading the Bible. This woman is not celibate, and yet she's had a bunch of interest from men. And she's still single, I believe, during this video clip, which is just crazy, because if you think about the things that are happening in the background here, guys, like, the women, again, they want the chivalry, okay? They want the guy who writes the poems or does the flowers usually. They say they want these things, but they don't respond well to them whatsoever anyway. Like, they really don't. It's just it's a complete lie. And this is exactly why you don't listen to women for dating advice, because who is the woman actually responding to? Like, let's look at what's working in this situation. And she hasn't said whether or not this in particular is working, but given these are the only men she actually registers that exist, these dudes are just asking for her Snapchat. You know, they're not doing any big, large, grand gestures, trying to buy her things, trying to take her out to dinner. They just ask for her Snapchat. And I would argue these are probably the only men that she sees as visible. And these are probably the attractive guys. And they don't have to do anything aside from ask for the Snapchat. They don't have to do any of these romantic gestures. They don't have to have a lot of income. Income will become more important to this woman as she gets older, when she reaches 30.
You guys don't do that here?
No.
Oh, we have it good there in the Philippines.
It's America.
Yeah, I used to get love letters when I was in high school and college.
So did my grandmother, and then it died.
Yeah, what happened? You know, what happened? My grandmother used to get love letters, and that's so sad because I don't get them. What's the difference? The difference is that these women are not their grandmothers. They are a completely different caliber of woman to their grandmothers. That's really what it comes down to. And the grandmothers also probably responded a lot better to these sorts of gestures.
How about serenading? Is that a thing here?
No, but I'm happy it's not, because I don't know how I feel about a guy coming up and singing to me.
No?
I don't know how I feel about that one.
Do you think it's still possible for women to marry who they really want, or they just settle?
I think it's still possible. I think it takes a certain type of person, but I do think it is possible. Because I feel like a lot of people now do kind of, not get lazy, but they just want to settle. But personally, I would wait until I find the right person.
Is it a normal thing for guys here in America to just walk up to a woman and ask her out on a date?
I wouldn't do a pickup line. Pickup lines are terrible, but just go up and be yourself and just say, hey, I saw you from over there. I thought you looked really pretty, and I just wanted to know your name. I would start there, like ask her name. Depending on the setting, if you're on the beach, maybe you could buy her a snow cone or something.
Okay.
If she's down for that, I don't know.
Okay, have you done that yourself? Walking up to a person that you think was cute? And...
Oh yeah, I guess I have, and I got her number, but then you have to first, with social media, they're gonna look you up, they're gonna add you on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
There's so much that goes into this before they find out if you're okay to talk to or not.
Yeah, so what happens is they give you the phone number and they're not actually interested, and they're doing this because they're polite. Okay, the women are trying to be polite in these situations. And this is what I'm talking about when I say the odds of this actually working are incredibly low unless you're highly attractive. If you're an average guy and you go out there doing this, yes, women will give you their phone numbers. Yes, women will give you their Instagrams and stuff like this, but they will do this regardless of whether or not they're actually attracted to you. And for the average man, they're typically not attracted to you whatsoever anyway.
Or if you're just being strange.
Well, that's kind of different because in my culture, yes, we like the guys to come up to us and actually ask us out in person. Mm-hmm. But most of the guys, the Filipino guys, kinda have a different way of asking us out. They'll ask their friend to pass a note or write us a love letter, that kind of stuff. So it is different.
So you have to chase.
Yes.
Yeah. Girls
Because
like to be pursued, I think.
I know. But do guys pursue women here? What if they said, if you ask... Here in America, if the girl says no, Would you guys persist? Would you ask her out again, second time?
No, I don't think so. I think if they said no, you gotta leave that. You gotta leave that alone at that point.
Really?
Yeah, don't want to end up going to court. I love this woman's reaction on the right, by the way. Like, she seems shocked by this. Like, why would a man continue to pursue a woman who says no? In America, in Western countries, you're actually just asking for legal trouble at that point, man. You're asking for the woman to take your ass to court and to say that she, certain things happened, right? Like, you don't want to be overly pursuing women. And the problem is, a lot of the definition of overly is very subjective, and a lot of guys get themselves into very bad situations from pursuing women in the first place, man. And again, women will also say, this woman in the interview said, well, women like being pursued, don't they? A lot of modern day Western women, they don't respond well to being, like, unless you're highly attractive, the pursuing does nothing, okay? And if you're highly attractive, you don't need to pursue anyway. The women will message you. They will make things happen themselves. You don't actually need to do anything. And this is something a lot of those guys have realized, okay? Is like, hey, listen, if I'm a top percentage guy, I don't need to do all of this approaching and risk a court case. I don't need to do that. The women will simply make it happen with me, probably online. And that's the way it is.
Because they clearly don't want anything to do with you, then you just gotta respect that.
Have you ever asked the parents of this girl that you want to date their daughter?
I think the only time you ask the parents for permission is at the marriage stage. But when you're dating, usually you don't meet the parents right away. No.
We're doing it wrong, ladies. Because the first meeting, if we have our boyfriends, present them to the family because this is your potential son-in-law.
Yeah, you only do that if you're serious. If you're just dating, just feeling it out, you don't meet the parents till later down the line.
Yeah, so the reason for that as well, like, let's get a few things clear here. Number one, a lot of modern day women don't respect the opinions of their parents anyway. If their parents disapprove of a man that they're dating, it's not going to matter. So that's first of all. Second of all, these women don't bring home every dude on like the first or second date or whatever and let them get to know the family and so on. And the reason they don't do this is because usually the women are seeing a bunch of different dudes. And it probably changes from week to week, from month to month. So you'll have a woman who brings home a man to her family, and then next week it'll just be a different one anyway. So what's the point? You know, it'll just make them look bad at a certain point. Guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Why do you guys think that men are giving up on approaching women? Make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.